That's recording.
That's recording. What mic you at?
Oh, I don't think I'm plugged in. Am I? Boom, boom. Yeah, I don't think that. No, I'm not plugged in.
What the hell's going on here? So we're live on there. We actually got a fan. What's up, y'all? Alright, give me your... Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, boom,
Check.
boom.
Check, check. Shit, we can't hear me. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Check. Is talking to yours?
Yeah, well, no, I can hear myself.
Okay, yours is good. Let me see. Keep talking.
Boom, boom, 1, 2, 1, 2, boom, boom.
Check, check. Okay.
There you go, now I can hear you.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, we're check, check, check. Alright. Sounding good, sounding good. What's up, everybody? We're about to record an episode. These fucking wires. Frustrating. Alright. Good. Alright, that one's live. And this one. Episode 76. What's up, y'all?
Is it 70? Yeah, 76.
Okay, preview, go live. Okay. Say something about the video. Episode. Pricing. Alright, go live. Alright, we're live on Facebook World. What's up, everybody?
What up, what up? Let me see here.
How's everybody doing out there? Alright. You ready for the intro?
Probably sure is.
Alright. Give us a few seconds. We're going to share this with the world. Alright. Notification. It's not going to hear the sound, right? Oh, you put the sound down?
I'm sure.
Okay. Share it to me too, and then I can share it, because I don't know what's going on here. What's not letting me. Share it. Oh, never mind. Share we go. Share we go. We're back, mofos. We're back. Cool. Share now. Could leave it up. All right, you ready for the count in?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What's up, man? How you been?
Man, I've been good. Yourself?
Been all right.
All right, man.
It's good to get back in the saddle.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a little minute, huh? Because we were, man, last night, so we don't got the Turo guy. To everyone that on the live pages who've been following us on Instagram. By the way, follow us on Instagram. I have a bunch of stuff going on there. But yeah, he hasn't got back to me. So hopefully next week we do have someone in, the week after that. So maybe next month till we get the Turo guy. But yeah, we got a lot going on. A lot of good interviews coming up. But what you been up to, Steve?
Throw it at me first, huh?
Yeah, man.
Well, I have like a million Turo questions. I'm just kidding. I could watch all your Airbnb stuff bounce the whole time when we're watching this live.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, just same thing I say every week, pretty much. Just working, trying to handle the Airbnb thing and the long-term thing, and try to look for the next house thing. And we might have one. We'll see. You know,
What you
I was
got?
talking. I mentioned it the last episode. We might end up buying Can's old house.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So we're in talks. We're in comunicado. You know, we're trying to
Okay.
get everything right. It would be. I called it. It's funny because like we've described it on the show how we do things. We do house hacking.
Yeah.
And you house hack to the extreme because you got every single nook and cranny of your house like booked and rented out. You know, you got the bathroom rented out, and the kitchen rented out. And but how we're house hacking is we buy a house, live in it for a little bit, and then bounce to the next one about a year later. And so the next house, we have 3 that way, and the next house will be house number 4 if everything goes cool. And so this we're looking at Can's house. He told us about it and everything, and we checked it out. And I told you the only issue I really had, or I had an issue was the backyard was small. And I told you, and you said that's how the new houses comes with
Especially
small
in
yards.
Texas. Like, I mean, you have to go out. Yeah, you got to go out to get a backyard.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, but it's right next to a big ass park.
Yeah.
So, kind of substitutes for the backyard a little bit. But it's something you can kind of work with. And so we'll go to the backyards real quick. And of course, it's funny because anything. I love the internet because it inspires you. Even though we don't do half the stuff we're supposed to be doing, it's like tiny backyard. I looked up how to fix up a tiny backyard. How to work with it. And it showed, and of course it sends me down the Pinterest freaking tunnel. You go down and check out all the Pinterest, how they pimp it out, and you're like thinking to yourself, naively, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do.
You gotta have a special mind to do some stuff off Pinterest, dude. Mahogany does. I don't.
Yeah, but with YouTube, you can just follow how they do it, and it might not come out exactly. And what's also inspiring is like the yards.
Mm-hmm.
That are like you watch you've seen Flip or Flop before.
Yeah.
Okay, it's California houses and they got like barely any backyard at all, and because it's expensive, dude. It costs like $500,000 just to buy a shitty little 3-2 whatever 1,000 square foot house, right? Yeah. So they can't really go all out in a yard, so they got these little bitty backyards. But he pimps them out so badass, dude. Really? He does so much with these backyards, and I'm like, well, we could it'll be less of a canvas to paint with, but we can pimp it out pretty good. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts in my head. Action is another thing.
Yeah, you gotta put that action for it.
So if we go about getting this house, I'll have a backyard to tackle. The good thing is it's not a huge backyard to tackle.
Okay. How big is your house? Is the house?
The house is it's a 4-2.
4-2. Okay.
About 2,000 square foot, big layout.
Where's it at?
It's over there. You know where Cook's Lane and 30 is? Like,
Fort Worth?
Okay, yeah. East Chase.
Okay,
East
Chase.
Yeah, over that direction.
Okay.
So you go down 30 here towards those streets, take a right. It's like back in there.
Okay.
Yeah, not on the left side. Left side's a little sketchy. You go to the right.
Other side.
It's the other side.
Okay.
The Hearst side. So.
Yeah.
And another cool thing about the house, because like we love Hearst, we have a house there. And it's like you take precinct, goes all the way to our house.
Oh, precinct line, okay.
The thing is, the street's a little rough, but on doing my research, you should always research when buying a house.
Yeah.
The city, Fort Worth, is fixing that precinct road, and it's fixing the Randall Mill, which leads to 820. I'm talking Fort Worth crap.
Okay.
But they've already started on the project to fix those streets.
Okay.
And so that's a good thing, man. It's showing some promise. And so we're in talks right now. We'll see how it goes, and pimp it out, throw it on the air, bizzle.
So you dropping 3% on it?
Of course.
Okay. I was
keep your money in your pockets, folks.
I had two real estate type deals roll up on me. One was an 8-plex, and one was a duplex. The 8-plex, it was in foreclosure, And I have my cousin. My cousin's a realtor in Arkansas. Cause I have my house for sale, and I've been advertising it real hard.
Arkansas.
So I had my house for sale, and I was like, okay, I got two choices, and I had also because the house down the street from me is for sale for $240.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang, I could sell my house, or I could grab some equity out of my house. So I got a couple things going. I'm either gonna grab equity out of my house, or I'm gonna try to get this house sold. And then if I sell my house in Little Rock, I'm going all multifamily. So we had an 8-plex on the line, man. I was like, dang, it's not considered an 8-plex. It's considered an apartment. Had 8 units in it.
Damn.
And I was real close. I hit my cousin up. My mom sent it to me. She's like, hey, there's an apartment building down here for sale. And I was like, hey, how much is it? 181 for sale, going into foreclosure. And I called my cousin about it. She's like, oh, it just sold last month. Somebody picked it up.
That's in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, man. But an 8-plex, an 8 unit, that's all that would have been bad. Because what I was gonna do was, I was gonna run the numbers, find out how many units in that 8-plex I needed to be on a corporate housing. I was gonna corporate house like 3 or 4 of them if that makes the mortgage, and everything on Airbnb was just gonna be nothing but profit.
Gravy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it fell through. But I have a duplex I'm looking at now. And she's running the comps on that, seeing what's out there, see how much I should offer.
That's in Arkansas?
Yeah. So if I sell down there, I'm gonna go all everything. I'm trying to go like I've been saying for a long time. Everything I buy from here on out, I'm doing multifamily. I don't want any more single family homes.
Okay.
So,
That's a different route to go.
yeah, because I'm like, man, I gotta have something. One mortgage, multiple spots.
That's the beauty of real estate, man.
I know. Straight up.
I love that. What they call it, the velocity of money.
Yeah, velocity of money.
You know, the same dollar keeps buying you more and more properties over and over again.
Straight up.
But Dave Ramsey would say, pay that first one off first, okay? And then you can think about getting another house, buy it cash.
Speaking of Dave Ramsey, I like straight up. I listen
He's
to
coming
some
to
of
Dallas.
his.
What's up, Dave?
I listen to one of his little podcasts or whatever.
Mhm.
But the thing about what he says is it's like kind of throws you off. Like he'll tell a guy, go buy a house, $180K cash. Like, man, you can buy 5 houses with that, you know? But and then I listened to a story of how he said he was over leveraging properties and he went bankrupt, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, why didn't you buy anything multifamily? Why are you buying all these? You have like 15 houses and they market tanked, you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you just have to be smart about it.
And he talks about his story a little bit, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And so he bought all these houses. He had this on paper. He was a multimillionaire from all these houses, and then, like you said, his goes way back to the savings and loan crash when everything crashed back then. Before the 2008 crash, and he, like you said, he over leveraged. And what happened when the banks, started trying, got taken over by some other people? They looked at all the loans and said, all right, just call all these loans in. Let's clean up the books. And they called all his loans in. You have to pay all these houses off cash. You got 6 months to do it, or we're gonna take everything. And so he said he hustled and got like all the way down to just a few houses left, and they were gonna take his primary home where him and his wife live, and he had to file for bankruptcy just to protect his own shit.
You couldn't sell it?
I guess he sold most of them, but like I said, the market had tanked so bad.
For real?
Is that your son?
Yeah, I think that's me.
All right, I'll hold down the fort. So we got some family things going on here, and we're speaking of Dave Ramsey. So he ended up actually filing for bankruptcy to protect his stuff, and it didn't. After that, he changed his tune on the whole borrow money to buy houses thing, and so. Now, now he's up to whatever. He's hundreds of millions of dollars and has like the most popular finance show in the world, and so he's doing it, and he preaches zero debt. Of course, we're doing it. We're doing our little thing right here, and we're using the leverage from the banks to go Rams, whatever, go Cowboys. We're using the leverage to add some real estate to our profile, to our thing. And so today we were going to talk pricing. That was what we're going to dive into. And see, Micah had mentioned on a previous show that he uses Price Labs, and I'm still on the Beyond Pricing thing. I haven't switched over to Price Labs. I'm gonna do it tonight though.
Oh,
I'm gonna stay up late and get on Price Labs because Micah keeps showing all his statistics from Price Labs, and he just has months booked up solid. I mean, there's no gaps, nothing. It's solid bookings all the way through his calendar, and I'm like, I gotta get on this this Price Labs thing. People are hitting this up, you know, wanting to, and of course you're gonna share your code, right, so they can like sign up.
Yeah. Matter of fact, go to if you follow my IG at Share Bed and Breakfast, I have all that stuff on there. Price Labs. I even show like what it's doing, how I manipulated it. Definitely check that out. But yeah, what were we saying before I left?
We're talking about Dave Ramsey a little bit.
Oh,
Here's a commercial about him right here. He's coming to Dallas, so
He is.
we gotta go.
Nah, we'll get kicked out for talking about credit.
Did he rent that whole venue, the venue Cash Money?
He probably told his listeners that they probably believe it. You know,
He didn't say his LLC or his company, his corporation doesn't use that. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
This guy made a great point about David Ramsey, man. He said, you know what Dave Ramsey does? He goes, he takes a group of fat people and he teaches them not to have discipline. He's like, he'll tell them to take all these weight loss pills the easy way instead of, hey, go to the gym, work out, you know, build a work ethic. He goes, yeah, you don't teach them that. And that builds discipline. He just tells them to, hey, just cut up all your credit cards. Don't use them. Don't use credit. Like, it's about moderation to me. You know what I mean? He goes to the extreme of one side. So, I don't know. But he has some good stuff out there, though.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But, you wanted to talk about what? Pricing and...
Let's hop in, because we titled the show Pricing, just because we just chose a quick title. You know how we are. We title the show, and then we just go on, ramble on, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so, price, real quick, I mean, tell us how and why Price Labs has been so successful for you. We're going to interview the Price Labs guy next week, right?
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, so that's going to be epic. You know, he's
we're going to interview him in 2 weeks. But the reason, I don't know how it works. That's what I don't know. I don't know how he did it. He somehow set that thing up to where you can put these little specifics in there to how long you want to get bookings. When I set it up on Price Labs, all I did was put in, if it's 20 days out, a person can't stay any less than 4 days. And it gets me bookings for next week. Yeah, next week, somebody's coming into one of my places and they're staying for 3 months. And then I have my other place in downtown Dallas booked for 3 months as well. So, I mean, yeah, it works. It works. I tell people, if you, like I said, follow my IG at Share Bed and Breakfast. That's my business page.
IG is Instagram.
But yeah, follow that. I post a bunch of stuff daily. Like someone just inquired, like my other place, the one that's booked for 3 months, a month after that, somebody wants to stay another 3 months. So it fills up your calendar. That's what I will be asking him about that. Like, hey, what do you do to manipulate the calendar to? Because I know one of the things he does is if it's the far out rule that I have, my listing won't show up for certain little credentials. You know, if somebody books 2 nights here, 2 nights there, I won't show up. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. But yeah, man, Price Labs is the truth.
The truth. I got to jump on there, man. Because I need to start booking up some stuff. Jerry, real quick. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Your phone's blasted.
Yeah, I know.
Real quickly. Jerry Jones, ironically enough, might be getting into the Airbnb world. You know why?
Why is that?
Because he just bought a $250 million yacht. He's gonna throw it on Airbnb.
How many rooms you got up in there?
I don't know. It's a beast though. I didn't look up the specifics, but it's $250 million yacht. They rent those on Airbnb, don't they?
Yeah, it's a different little spot. It's a place for boats on there.
Oh yeah.
I forgot the name of it, but it's pretty dope. A lot of people are using it. It's a place for
yacht B&B or something. Boat B&B.
It's all types of boats. Yachts.
Boats and hoes B&B.
Speed boats. All types of stuff.
So I mean, I think that would be the most ironic thing if he actually, throws that thing, because it's over there in Holland right now. They said So I mean, how often is he going to be, using his own yacht? And what happens when someone has a yacht that they aren't using? I mean, I'm sure they lease it out, right? You would think.
Yeah, you gotta have something to pay for it. I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones is smart enough to have something to be paying for that yacht. You know what I mean? He ain't stupid, you know.
$250 million yacht. That's insane.
I know.
And he's making Arlington pay for half his stuff. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's what you do.
That's just how business is done in the United States, right?
Yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention. Have y'all heard of these companies? I think one was Pillow, but Pillow ain't. Pillow is not doing what this dude. This guy, what he did was this place called Sonder. What he did was he pretty much raised all this capital, and what he's doing is he's buying up Airbnbs. And what he does is he leases out entire floors, going just to straight Airbnbs. Like he built up like probably about a couple $1 million in capital, and he just started leasing out a bunch of floors.
Oh, nice.
And he gets a floor on an apartment, and he takes the whole floor, furnishes it, and leases it out on Airbnb. And he does multiple floors. It's a place called Sonder. I think it's like not one person, but it's a bunch of people on there.
That's kind of like what's his name from Chicago we had on the show. Remember he started renting spots.
You're talking about who told us about Price Labs? Syed.
Syed made you some money, huh?
Yeah, a lot of it. But no, like Sonder though, I think that whoever thought of that was pure genius. They raise millions and just go get floors, man, off people's money. And I don't know. I want to know what his. What he's making off doing that. So that'll be interesting to see.
We're seeing it with our own eyes how the Airbnb business model is evolving, right? And what do you think that it's evolving to? Because it started off, wow, Airbnb's cool. Any mom and pop could rent a room out of their pad, right?
Yeah.
And then they said, well, shit, I can rent out my whole house. I can go on vacation. You know what? I can buy a second house and just rent out the whole house on Airbnb, and it'll pay for both mortgages. People are starting, and it gets to where it's empowering the little guy. That's how Airbnb started. And then real quickly the corporations figured out, whoa, someone's making money here, and it ain't us. And then the hotel industry and Airbnb themselves, they want to open up their own little Airbnb hotels and stuff. So it's real quick. I mean, with any new thing, it's opportunity immediately. But then the market gets a little, it gets big enough to where the corporations want to come in and they're cutthroat, man. They got a lot of money to throw around. They'll do it better than you.
Airbnb's going to do it better than you. Because, I mean, they're already, that was, their business plan was pure genius. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get their own units up, which is smart, in my opinion. Get your own units up, get rolling like that, and boom, if anything happens, you are a hotel now, which they're about to be a hotel.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that's what they label themselves as a hotel. But I don't know how you would label that because they're a hotel with like kitchens and everything else. So it's gonna be interesting, real interesting. But
so sorry for the little man.
Yeah, and it's funny. Yeah, and it's funny, like how you said, like people were doing it for home shares, and that's what we do have an interview next week with the HSAA. They're the home sharing, what is it called? The Home Sharing Hosts of America. HSAA, Home Sharing Association of America.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry.
Cool.
And what they did was
fight in New York, right?
Yeah. They just won that fight in New York too.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah. By the way, you can Airbnb in New York. But what I was gonna say was, they're really smart with what they did for home shares. They backed away from the remote hosts and everything else, and just strictly went like, "Hey, we're just here for home shares."
Right.
So I think that was real smart to do that. So I'm actually looking to hopefully, start something like that up here soon because I think that's the way to go.
Some home sharing. You do home share. Oh, you.
Yeah, I mean like separate yourself from the remote hosts and just be home sharing, which is what they did, and they got to win.
Yeah.
Because you have to. It's two totally different things. Like, and I think that's. And one question I am going to ask. I'll go ahead and release the question. What I'm going to ask. I'm gonna ask her, you know, did you guys purposely know to remove the remote hosts from your group and stick together as a side group? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no point of lumping yourselves in with them if it's totally different. What you guys have been doing is that's legal. I'm inviting visitors into my house. You know what I mean?
Charging them a little scratch, but inviting them.
Yeah, it's a visitor to my house. You know, you can't control that. You can't control who I open my door to.
Maybe,
that's totally different.
Maybe that's why Arlington's stalling right now, because they figured that they can't really start going. They're seeing all this other legislation happening,
Yeah.
and the people fighting, and they're following. They got to be looking at the lawsuits.
You have to, yeah. You don't
And,
want
so,
to.
and that New York thing, we're just saying that the cities can't petition Airbnb or VRBO for their records and try to find out all the personal information of people that do, home share or do whatever Airbnb. I mean, that was a big win for the for Airbnb.
I also think that was the thing with Airbnb to where, I mean, I think Airbnb does stuff for different cities. Like if you look at San Diego, they do a little bit more. New
So
York,
that ruling over there won't matter at all to Texas, is what you're saying?
I wouldn't say to Texas, but to Arlington. I mean, I think they'll go to bat for Austin because
Yeah,
Austin's a
you
big city for
The
them.
big city, big
And a
populous
plus city for
Well,
Airbnb.
Dallas,
Plus.
Yeah,
but Dallas, they don't have any anti-Airbnb legislature.
It's starting to get some rumbling going on. A little bit of rumbling.
Has
They're
it?
starting to make people sign up and everything like that.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
That's where Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's where Arlington started too. Trying to make people sign up. It's cool. Just pay this little hot tax. Everything's gonna be cool. Now they got you on record.
But that saved Arlington too, though.
The hot tax.
Yeah, like meaning it saved Arlington because people were paying taxes to the city.
Right.
So it kind of saved them there. But the problem comes in when you start getting a bunch of complaints to the city, and the city starts, trying to force some stuff that they can't force. Especially the city of Arlington, they couldn't ban Airbnb anyway, or say it was illegal because they were collecting tax money off of it.
Hey, Fort Worth banned it.
Yeah, but they weren't collecting taxes, Well, it's supposedly banned over there. But I mean, and that's a thing to look at because, okay, just the Arkansas project I was looking at, I went in there and looked up all their short-term rental laws, and they're pretty friendly. I was like, oh, okay. Another place that's friendly, Grand Prairie.
The GP.
Yeah, Grand Prairie has real friendly short-term rental laws. Like they just say, hey, sign up with the city. There's no fee or nothing. And the reason I found that out, shout out to Scott, who's one of our listeners. He was remodeling a house out there, and I was like, are you flipping it? He goes, no, I'm doing a hold on it, and I'm gonna Airbnb it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's dope,
Yeah.
So it's some potential out in Grand Prairie. Because I looked at the cities I'm looking at right now are Little Rock and Grand Prairie. Little Rock multifamily only. Same with Grand Prairie, really. I want multifamily only.
Sweet.
Yeah, man.
So you're. Go ahead.
And yeah, and that was one of my things. I think I would be very careful investing in residential neighborhoods with places that have strong short-term rental laws. Because I heard a lady in one of the groups talking about, yeah, I'm about to go buy a house in New Orleans. I heard it's really good for Airbnb. I'm like, yeah, if you can get in. They're gonna hold you up at the door. You know what I mean? If you can get in, yeah. But
So you're pretty big on Arkansas now. You're going all in on Arkansas. Are you?
no, it depends on what I can sell out there. If I can sell my house, I will get a multifamily out there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I ain't gonna lie, those numbers I'm doing look good though. It's doing real good.
Yeah.
Cash flowing way more than I thought I would.
Nice. Who would have thought Arkansas?
I know. That's exactly what I felt. I'm like, I'll try it. Because we were like, we'll try it and test the market. And it picked up on us quick. Boom, boom.
Now, if you got some spots around the college, that'd be very good. That'd be great.
Well, we're not up there. That's Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I met a host. That's why I said you got to check me out on our Instagram. We met a host out there who's killing it up in Bentonville, Arkansas. So it's crap, man. Yeah. But definitely. Oh yeah. Follow LLT Live Let Thrive on Instagram too. I'm always posting on there too.
It's funny because I'll talk to friends and some of them will have a house out in my example, Wiley. A friend of mine has one in Wiley. Badass. excuse me, badass decked out house, right?
Mhm.
And he was talking about maybe moving it and renting it out, or moving and getting a different one with a pool, renting it out, or doing something like that. And I was like, well, you ever considered? Do they have anti-Airbnb laws in Wiley? He's
Yeah,
like,
love.
he said no, you don't. They never heard anything like that.
Yeah.
Which don't mean they don't. But,
Yeah.
but he said, nah, we're too far from everything. We're too far from everything.
Doubt it.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like the weirdest shit. Like what's his name? James Fan, like one of our
Yeah.
previous guests. He was a white settlement.
Yeah.
Killing it in white settlement.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, but honestly though, you never know. The reason, you know what the reason I think that is because they're doing a bunch of stuff you probably don't think about. It's so much going on in the DFW area. There's so much stuff you can't possibly think of everything. Wiley, I know for a fact the college is out there, right?
Right.
Yeah, Wiley has a college out there. I mean, parents coming to town. I'm pretty sure how big is the house?
His is probably like 3,000 square feet.
And that's ain't gonna lie, that's another thing I tell people. I'm real. I mean, I know there's people out there to do it. As a matter of fact, I do want to talk to someone that does that. I'm real iffy on renting out like 3,000, even 2,000 square foot spaces, man. Like I'm more about 1,500 and below, 1,500 square feet and below. Like the people who rent out them big, huge mansions, like the lady who rents out a castle, I was like up in Washington State. 20,000 square feet. She rents that out.
What the hell? You better put like a $10,000 deposit
Security.
on that.
Yeah,
Security
you charge
deposit.
anyway. You were charged at your house. But it's I don't know. Like people who rent out big spaces like that, I like to hear the things that they go through.
Yeah.
Stuff coming up missing, stuff broke. Because I couldn't imagine cleaning up something that size.
You gotta go high end, man. Speaking of Jerry Jones, back in his yacht and everything.
Yeah.
Cowboys won.
Yeah.
And they advanced. They're gonna go play a home game in L.A.
Away game.
There's gonna be more Cowboys fans there. It's gonna be a home game.
Might be.
Some people were talking it's be like 60% Cowboys fans.
America's team.
I
Strike again.
A lot of Vatos locals love the Cowboys over there too. So, I looked up the tickets like right after the Cowboys won that game,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like I guess the cheapest one. This is like on the NFL ticket exchange, was $300 for the cheapest ticket. That was just right afterwards. Nosebleed, yeah. And it's like I told my wife, you wanna hop out there and watch the game?
Yeah.
But then and there you go, $600 plus all the fees and stuff. It's closer to $900 after it's all said and done. All
Facts. You gotta fly out there.
taxes, LA taxes and fees and everything.
Yeah.
And then we can hop on a plane, no problem.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
and it's a 7:00 game. We could even watch it and then just get our butts back to the airport, take a red eye back if we wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Why even rent a place? But
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and I was just wondering, man. Like LA needs a boost to the economy, but it's gonna be a lot of people renting out Airbnbs while they go check out the games and stuff.
Woo! I don't even want to know how
And
much
at
an
the
Airbnb is going for. Man.
For the Cowboys game, and there's like a remote possibility that we could get
A game back here.
here. Now, if the Eagles handle their business in New Orleans, I'm going to be the biggest Eagles fan that morning, right?
Yeah, me
Whenever
too.
they play.
Me too.
And if they handle their business over there, and then we handle our business in LA, we get a home game here. Boom! Jack up them rates.
Man, if we get that far in the playoffs, man, that'd be what, the NFC
That's
Championship?
one more to the Super Bowl, yeah. Where's the Super Bowl going to be at this year?
Atlanta.
Atlanta? Oh, damn.
Yeah, I already know people are jacking up prices for it. Matter of fact, Josh hit me up, and one of his dudes was his homeboys was trying to do it, and he was like, hey, how much should I charge? And he goes, is it too late? I'm like, hell no, it's the perfect time. You're going to get the last minute stragglers, man. Last minute stragglers, hey, $300-$400, they'll pay it. They're like, hey, we ain't got no place to sleep, 10 dudes might go in for that.
Damn. Now, back to price tags real quick. We're hopping all over the place. But are they similar to Beyond Pricing as like the closer a week approaches or weekdays and there's nobody there, they'll lower the prices automatically for you?
Yeah, you can set it up to do that.
Do you believe in doing that?
Yeah. I mean, if it's getting to that point where it's you lowering your prices, I would say do it. My thing about them is they also have like this in between pricing too. Like, hey, if you have a minimum night set, like you can set it up where if I have 3 days where one guest checks out and another guest checks in, it's a 3-day gap. You can set it up to lower the price. You can set it up to not only lower the price but change your minimum night stay. Yeah, Beyond Price Labs is legit, man. I got off Beyond Pricing so quick after I found out about that. Yeah, but I do that. Like if I only do it like the week of. Like this is what I do. I never change my weekend. I never lower my weekend prices. I let Price Labs handle it. Like if I have a weekday, what I'll purposely do, and this usually works, I'll just go in and highlight them. Like if it's weekdays, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday through Thursday, and I ain't got no bookings that whole little stint, I'll just do the price tips on Airbnb, and I'll let it get booked. But then I'll keep the weekends the same, so they have to play that upcharge rate.
Huh.
Yeah, I never lower your weekend prices.
And of course, Airbnb loves it when you use their smart pricing, right?
Yeah,
They'll bump you to the top.
Yeah. Or you can do this. Use your smart pricing at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't get a booking till the next morning. Price Labs has already updated your pricing. You just got shot right back to the top of the listing, at the top of the page, because they updated your prices at midnight.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that game. You mentioned it in like how to crack the Airbnb code. Remember that episode?
Yeah.
That most popular episode. Okay. So you at 11. Is this how you do it? At 11:59, you put in smart pricing.
All right. Well, in the afternoon I'll do it.
You do it in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'll do it in the afternoon. I'll put in smart pricing, right?
Okay.
What's it called? Is it called smart? Not price.
Smart
price tips.
Oh, price Airbnb. Tips, smart price. Yeah, there's also
price
smart
tips,
price.
whatever.
Yeah, Airbnb. Airbnb is where they put your place as cheap as hell.
Yeah.
Automatically.
But I only do it for the weekdays. Now I'll use price tips. If I don't get booked, I'm not tripping, because at midnight my prices are gonna go shoot right back up to what they originally were on Price Labs. Okay. So if I get booked the next morning, cool. They paid the premium rate.
Right.
So pretty much what you're doing is you're making your calendar change days, change prices in a specific time frame.
Okay. And then with Beyond Pricing, which a lot of our listeners are on, when you change the price manually on Airbnb, this is what frustrating to me, because then Beyond Pricing, I'll have it on, and it'll go back and it'll change it back to the Beyond Pricing price.
See, that's what I don't understand about Beyond Pricing. I don't know what that time frame is.
Right, but you know exactly that Price Labs does it at midnight.
Yeah, midnight is going to update your calendar. And usually that's really why you get bookings the next morning using Price Labs.
Because you get shot to the top.
Yeah.
With using the price tips, and then
no, you got shot to the top using your prices on Price Labs, because they update at midnight. But I'm saying, so it's like every 12 hours I'll update if I have a vacancy. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Now one more thing. In Price Labs, can you go to your Price Labs calendar and manually change the prices if you wanted to there, and they won't automatically change them back to whatever they want to change them to, or do they?
No. If you set like you can get on Price Labs and set a minimum price. Like, this is the minimum price. Don't ever go below this on a particular day, and it'll do it.
On just a particular day, on each of it, because you can't do that on Beyond Pricing, right? You can't.
Yeah, you can.
Can you just grab one day and
set
do that?
The minimum price
For one day?
Yeah.
Not for the whole month?
Yeah, it's under the seasonal pricing.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't used, but yeah, that's how it was when I was doing it.
And how much does Price Labs cost?
I think it's like $10 a month, 10 to 20. You have to check with how many listings you give them.
How many did you give them?
I gave them a total of all of my places downtown. I think I gave them about 8 or 9. About 10 total. I think I gave him about 10 total.
Yeah.
10 listings. And I got hit for a $118 bill this month.
Them.
Yeah.
which is it's a lot better than paying a 1% on every single booking.
Every single booking, yeah, it ain't worth it.
Yeah, that's how Syed was Syed, right?
Yeah, Syed.
That's how he reasoned with it, because he did so much volume that 1% is a huge chunk out of his profits.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, man.
Yeah, I keep telling you, man, you got to get on there. Yeah, because I asked you today, I was like, hey, Steve, you ain't on to Beyond Pricing yet? And I took a picture of my calendar, and then I think that probably
motivated.
Yeah, motivated you like, whoa. Yeah.
If you've seen regular people's, including myself's, Airbnb calendars, there's just like, here's Monday through or Sunday, the weekends are pretty much booked, hopefully if you're doing it right. And then you'll see like little choppiness going on during the week. So you see all these holes in the calendars. Micah's is just solid, man. Boom, boom, solid all the way through. Beyond Pricing is just hooking them up. We sound like a damn commercial for them. They ain't paying us nothing, right? You're actually paying them.
Well, I don't know. I've been promoting their code pretty hard, man. I've been promoting that code. I only promote if it's a legit product, I'll promote the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And that's why the co-founder, he actually found me. I found him, and he's like, "Hey, you're the guy who's been promoting us on Live Let Thrive, but on Instagram."
Oh, he saw it.
Yeah, he saw it. He's like, "Oh man, yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, that was me." And he's like, "Yeah," and he goes, because he asked me. It was funny though, because he asked me. He goes, "How are you using our tool?" I'm like, "I just set up like Syed told me to set it up."
Yeah.
It's been moving.
So we're gonna talk to the founder.
Yeah.
If he's not a millionaire, he's gonna be a millionaire.
Oh yeah, easy off that.
So you only promote, products you believe in.
Yeah.
Like beyond Price Labs and maybe Soul Glow.
They're coming out with the number 2, by the way.
Let your soul glow.
Yeah. I do. It's funny. My homeboy came to my office yesterday at work. He goes, "Hey man, they're coming out with a Coming America too." I was like, "For real?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah."
I've heard the rumors.
I've heard
people say no, they're not doing that, and I just
because I thought Eddie Murphy hung it up. That's what I heard. Eddie Murphy said he was done.
He's got like 20 kids from 10 baby mamas to take care of. What do you know?
Hey, he got the money for it, man. He put out some hits back in the day, man. Harlem Nights.
Oh, he was the man.
Yeah, he was.
He was the man. Then he started making all the the Big Mamas and the
Nutty Professors.
Nutty Professors.
Yes.
Whatever.
I love Nutty Professors.
The first one was badass. Then the other ones were kind of like okay, beating a dead horse to me. And then what's the one? Dilbert, not Dilbert. What's the one?
I know what you're talking about. When he was dressed up as the big woman.
And the big woman, and I was like, yeah, that was kind
of. He said Dilbert.
Hubert. I don't know. Anybody out there know who that is? Hubert.
But Instagram is hands down the best way to promote your Airbnb. Definitely promote it on Instagram, man. I once I started doing it, I started seeing how many people are doing it and making big money off that. Like, people promote the hell out of their Airbnb on Instagram. And it's a good way to do it, too. Because you can just type in the hashtag city name that you're in. Like, that dude over in Fort Worth, he's got thousands of followers just off his Instagram page.
But you're not allowed to do it in Fort Worth.
He don't care. I don't think he cares. No, he don't care. He's killing it. And he just has his is DFW Airbnb Fort Worth. I was like, that's a perfect name. I need to change mine to Airbnb Arlington.
And he gets listings that way.
Yeah, he just promotes his own listing.
So he promotes the listing. So they still book through Airbnb. They don't book directly through him.
Yeah, but you can set it up for direct booking if you want to.
Have you been taking more direct bookings?
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah. How's
that worked out?
It's been working pretty good. I've been having people pay cash, or I can just send them an invoice through my CPA tool.
You don't got that Square app?
No, I do need to get that though.
Yes.
What's it called? Through my what I pretty much
TurboTax or QuickBooks.
QuickBooks. Yeah, I can invoice through there. But a lot of people have been saying that. That's another thing I wanted to talk about was the IPO. A lot of people think Airbnb is going to make the host pay all the fees when they IPO, supposedly.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I was hearing a lot of people saying, hey, we should start looking at instant direct bookings. So yeah, that was an interesting one too. You may want to.
Talk about biting the hand that feeds you, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's,
I don't know though, man. Airbnb's kind of been on their own little thing, you know. They don't really care about the host. So, you know, a lot of people need. I forgot what channel it was. What's that guy? I forgot his name, but he has his own YouTube channel. It's not Airbnb Automated, it's the other guy, and he was the one saying, hey, you should look into doing more direct bookings because supposedly they're going to go up on their fees, which you probably would if you're going to IPO.
huh? Good idea.
You buying that stock? I think you said you were, right?
It depends on where it's at, where IPOs. But I mean, if it's in the 20s or 30s, maybe I'll buy some shares. If it's in the 60s, 70s, I don't know.
I think it'll IPO in the 30s.
Think so?
Yeah, 30s. I could, it might, but
Of course, the all the connected people get to buy it like at 15 or 20, right?
Yeah.
And then it gets dumped on us, on the masses, right?
yeah.
And it jacks up the price. They bounce. They get all there. They make millions of dollars, whatever. It's
They
all rigged.
bounce
It's
up
all
out of
rigged.
I haven't touched the stock market in so long.
Jeff Bezos is about to not be the most richest man in the world.
It's gonna be his wife, right?
He's gonna get divorced, man.
Is it?
So they're getting divorced. So
Oh, man.
and she's gonna take half.
Cheaper to keep her.
So yeah. So he's gonna have to somehow get by in life with only 70 billion in the bank. He's gonna have to go move into an efficiency. You might Airbnb him out something, you know.
The struggle, huh?
Well, he has, you know, they mentioned, you know, I read a little bit, and they're not only just married couple, they're business partners too. They grew the business together.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
And they said they're gonna still remain business partners and still do their thing, but just not be married, you know, whatever.
Man.
And so
How
he's the 25th most biggest landowner in the United States. Do you know that?
Hmm?
He's the
25th?
25th most biggest, or I said land or property owner in the United States. He owns chunks of Texas and LA or California, and some other states. But I mean, he's smart. You know, put your business, put your money in. That's where the billionaires put their money in, right? Land and of course property. But yeah, so she'll be on the list right there beside him on whatever billionaire list. She'll be, they'll be right beside each other.
I mean, dang, man. I hate that for him, but hey.
He's already got him a little cutie.
Oh, he does?
He's already.
He already did that move. How much money is he worth right now?
Oh, they were like I said, I don't know, 140 billion or something like that. So somewhere around there.
I don't know, man. Some people might
but-
go crazy, lose that much money. Like Chris Rock said, man, if Bill Gates woke up with Oprah's money, he'd hop out a window and slit his neck on the way down. Man. For real. You never know. We might go crazy, man.
Oprah's money. His house cost Oprah's money.
For real, that's what he said. You wake up with $1 billion in the bank. You used to 26 being in there. Like, hey, forget this. For real, but I don't know, man. That's crazy. But so have you started looking at properties up in the Northeast where his new center is going to be?
No, I'm sure they've shot up like crazy, right?
They said it was supposed to be an 8% increase wherever he announced it. That's based on him announcing it. That ain't based on it actually being built.
Right.
So, yeah, he's man, 8%. That's a huge jump. I would have liked to hopped on something out there.
Oh well, if we only would have known, right?
Yeah, we only would have known. 'Cause
And
we all kept thinking it was coming here.
you see, I kept saying Atlanta, but you were saying here. I mean, we got tons of stuff here. We don't got no public transportation. That's the thing.
I don't know. I don't know why I just didn't feel Atlanta. The only reason I didn't feel Atlanta was because I think whenever you start building something like that,
Yeah.
you need something. You need a population, which Atlanta might have it, but you need like.
It sure as hell wasn't gonna be Detroit.
Nah, they ain't got the population. They ain't got the population for it. I was thinking,
The
like,
young talent don't want to.
yeah, young talent, Austin, Portland, Seattle, Dallas. but it didn't come here.
Well, they're building something out in Austin, right? They're building like it's not their headquarters too. Oh shit, Apple's going there.
Really?
Yeah, Apple's building the headquarters over there.
Dog, they're trying to turn Texas into Cali.
Oh,
That's what they're gonna do. I'm for real, man. Look at these people bidding on these houses. They're bidding some crazy stuff out there.
Jeez.
Yeah, like people are bidding real crazy down here. They're gonna bid. I don't see it in the next 10 years, but you give it a little minute, man. The market's due for a correction.
Think so?
I mean, soon, yeah. You keep look at Cali. They bounced back good after '08.
Yeah.
People start, like right now, people are selling their houses for a few million, rolling on out. I mean, they got hit the hardest too, though, because I don't know if they get hit the hardest, but they got hit pretty big.
Yeah.
So,
Cyclical market.
yeah.
What was I saying? No, I lost my train of thought, man.
Oh, I had a funny thing happen to me today.
What happened?
It was in your Airbnb professional host group.
I
This lady asked a real good question, and I had never thought about it. She said, should I disclose, she has a concealed carry license, she has a home share. And she's like, hey, should I disclose that I have weapons on my property? And like these people, one lady from overseas was saying if she make sure to disclose it so she can avoid her property. Yeah, she was from, but it's different cultures. And then one lady, the other guys, the other people were saying, yeah, you have to disclose it because if they find a weapon in there and it's not disclosed, they get a full refund. It's kind of like cameras. And I was like, dang, man. I was like, man, I better disclose mine then. I just figured if you're coming to a home share in Texas, you just figured the host was packing. So I look at it, yeah, but I mean, I never thought about that because I feel like if you have a weapon, I mean, you shouldn't have it near the guest, right?
No. Well, like except Texas, because then you on their welcome basket you put a gun in there for them, right? Because it's Texas.
I mean,
it's a few rounds.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think you can have a gun if you.
A friend of mine who's gonna do Airbnb, and he just got another house. He wants to Airbnb a couple rooms out of it, kind of thing. He was showing me his phone because he was asking me how to set it up. We were going through the different steps. He added pictures, and he got to the point and it said, "Are there weapons on the premises?" And he's like, "Oh," he goes, "What do I put here?" And I was like, "You have guns?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, I wouldn't put that because you're not gonna get any guests.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it either. And then the lady who said, "Hey, let me know so I can avoid your list," and she goes, "Well, if I'm ever coming to America, I just ask the host if there's guns." I'm like, if you ask a host, American host, if they have guns on their property, they're probably gonna feel more uncomfortable than you. That's a weird question to ask from a host standpoint, from a guest standpoint.
That is true.
Because if someone sent you, "Hey Steve, do you have guns on your property? Why? You about to rob me? Should I be packing and preparing?" You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know if you want to start a conversation off like that, but
but my cop neighbors do.
That's why I was like, I don't know how you want to take that, but and that was something I had never thought about either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is episode 76, by the way.
Yeah.
Of Live Let Thrive. Your favorite Airbnb podcast in the world.
By the way, I'm sitting here reading this and I forgot, New York just won, but they were handing out $100,000 fines to home share hosts.
Damn.
That's crazy.
$100,000. I wonder if they at least got warnings first.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah. Because I was talking to one of the ladies who works for the HSAA. She said they were getting warnings, but she said a lot of the fines were only like $5,000, and she said with the money you can make on a home share up there, it's just a business write-off.
But it's not the $5,000 per night, is it?
No, just $5,000 for getting caught. Yeah, and he goes, a lot of people are just putting it into their business expense.
You make that much money in New York.
Because it's how the houses are built. The houses are built, what are they called? Are they called brownstones?
Yeah.
The houses are on top of each other?
Yeah.
So pretty much they get a whole floor to themselves. So it's technically by themselves,
Yeah.
You get a whole floor to yourself.
So your neighbors can rat you out, though.
I don't know, though. I don't think so, because you're renting out your whole house, right?
Uh-huh.
But you're just renting out floors in it.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess your neighbors, I guess the people next
You
to
see
you
people
could,
coming and going,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
buzzer,
you're right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like I said, and they wouldn't. It's hard to find out in New York who was doing it because all the how the buildings look the same, right? All the apartments, condos, whatever the hell.
Yeah, and Airbnb
brownstones.
was about to.
And so that's why the city was trying to find out. Hey, give me all the names and addresses and all the information of people who are doing this, and that's who they're fighting against. And I guess apparently they won,
See,
or
I
they put
still
an injunction.
I still feel like Airbnb gave out our personal information to the city of Arlington. To me, like people say they didn't, but I'm like, how did they find
Well,
you?
I don't know. I would argue against that because why would they do that? I mean, you're making money. We're making money for Airbnb, right? Why would they go and rat out their money makers if they didn't have to? Now, if they petitioned for it and all that stuff, we didn't hear about it. I mean, that's possible, but I don't think they go rat out their money makers. Especially if they believe that people should be able to rent out their houses.
They're buying their own hotels. They don't give a damn about their money makers. So I don't know, man. I just still wonder how did you get our personal information?
Who knows?
Yeah, I know. That's a mystery.
I mean, in Texas, anyways, a lot of it's going to be settled this year with the Texas legislature, right? Or the Texas Supreme Court is going to rule on being able to Airbnb short-term rental in your house, and so that's why a lot of the cities are holding off on doing their bans and stuff until they find out what Texas is going to do. So we will find out, man, and we will keep you all up to date on all the developments in Texas and beyond. That's what we do, right, Micah?
Yep, we will. But yeah, we got some good stuff coming though. We got delayed today, canceled today, but it's all good.
Oh, he finally hit you up?
No, not yet. So once we got 3 good interviews coming.
Okay, that would be good, man. So Airbnb is going good on your end.
Yeah.
I mean, VRBO. Do you get anything from VRBO anymore?
I do get a lot of stuff from the like in California. A lot of stuff out there. A lot of people out there on VRBO, real tough.
Okay. I haven't got a booking from them in a long time, dude. I don't know why. Booking.com, really.
What's your Wi-Fi? Good job.
My Wi-Fi is right here. Can you see it?
5G.
It says to do the 2G for like stuff that's sharing and stuff.
What's the 5G password?
Okay. Well, this is the same password. Quick Crown 563.
Oh man, now everybody can use.
Everybody can use my Wi-Fi. Come on over to my house, y'all. This. So, you doing some business over there?
Yeah, man. Back in the corporate world.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh?
Yeah. That 8plex would have took me out though.
Took you out of the corporate world?
Yeah, for a long time. That 8plex would have. Yeah, because all my Airbnb money, that would have been straight pocketed.
Damn.
Yeah, that would have been it. And maybe they said that was gone. I was like,
Your Grant Cardone 10X and some shit.
Yeah, that was really what I was thinking, man. I was like, if I could have that 8plex, that would have put me there.
No, woulda, shoulda, coulda. So you're open to anywhere in the country you can find a deal like that, right?
A multiplex deal, yeah. If I can get a multiplex anywhere in the country that makes sense, cash flows, I will.
All right, now what about here? In this area, Arlington, that you said maybe Grand Prairie. Are you planning on hopping, doing a house hack, like just for your primary residence?
No, I was thinking about that, but I'm really looking for something like if I was to even go to Grand Prairie, I would want something multifamily. I'm looking for something multifamily, man. Just real tough. I was looking at buying some houses, but I'm like, man, this Airbnb market's too iffy. Especially when it comes to buying and putting chunks of change down, you really don't want to get caught up in that.
You just gotta make sure it makes sense as like a long-term rental.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're big on the traveling nurses too.
Yeah, still big on that. I haven't been big on it as much, especially since I've been getting my Airbnb rep up, like as far as automating it and everything.
Yeah.
I need to get back on it though, because the prices that I charge downtown travel nurses ain't gonna pay that. They are not gonna pay that.
Oh, what were you saying that some guy was hitting you up? Oh, someone hit you up about the because you give your guests free condoms, right?
Oh yeah, I jokingly said that. He sent me a serious message about that.
The funniest response. You could tell it. You could tell it.
No. He was just like, I'm in Seattle. They were a very, was it sexually open place?
Yeah.
Do you find that the condoms are used or they don't use them? I was just like, what?
So that was part of the welcome package that Micah gives you. When you come to Texas, you get some guns and you get some condoms, maybe some junior mints. But it was funny. The funny one of the guys responded. He was saying that if one of the hosts gets pregnant, are you liable for the pregnancy because your condoms didn't work?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was hilarious. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, people really do offer some different type of stuff where they are.
Now, going back real quick, like if you were gonna cash out refi or whatever to get pull some equity out, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother you because like probably when you bought your house, interest rate was like 2% or some shit.
That's why I put my house for sale.
Oh, you're talking about the Arkansas house? Okay. So you can get all the cash, no worry about no interest rates and stuff.
Well, no. I just don't want to put that interest rate on my house because my interest rate on my house is 4.12.
Yeah.
If you go now, you looking at damn near 5%.
Yeah.
So I was like, do I want to put that interest rate on my house?
Do you see them dropping anytime soon? I mean, dropping again, anyways. I guess if the economy goes to shit.
That ain't what I'm hearing. I'm hearing they ain't supposed to be going nowhere anytime soon.
They're not gonna
even the refi rates are sky high.
Shit. Man, it was like free money back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody was refining. And it's the funniest thing. Back then, people had like these interest rates at like 6, 7, 8%, right, or more, whatever, depending on the credit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then all these rates just started plummeting, man. And they started saying, okay, you can refi your house now. People were having like payments like let's say $1,500 a month, doing the high interest rates, and they still had like 20 some odd years on their house. They were refinancing, getting it down to like $900 a month, right? And a 15-year note. I mean, it was just free money back then, dude. But I mean, when the economy's struggling, they just start throwing those freebies at us.
Yeah, and you gotta watch that too. That's like my number one thing too. When after watching The Big Short, that's like the number one thing. Like, hey, they got some really low interest rates. Yeah, they catch up to you real quick, for real, man. That's like the number one thing to watch for.
But not in the house. I mean, in the house, you lock in that low one. It's locked in for 30 years. It ain't moving.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful freaking thing.
Oh no, my bad. The low down payments.
Oh, the low down payments.
You can 1% down. We'll get you in a house. What?
0%. They were doing 0.
Yeah.
They were paying you to buy a house. It's crazy. So what do you believe in putting down on a house?
20% if you can. If you can, but.
So you got a little Dave Ramsey.
No, that just puts you takes off the PMI and puts you in a more comfortable space as far as cash flow. But I mean, if you could get in with, like your strategy, you're doing 3%, but you're moving into the house, you can do that too. Whatever strategy works.
Right.
20% if you got the capital.
Yeah. There you go. Everybody has their own strategy, right?
Yeah,
So, man, this has been a great show. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the business going on over there.
Yeah, man.
We kind of scrambled a little. It was supposed to be the Turo show, and we had a whole bunch of Turo stuff to talk about. But we could always talk about Airbnb. I mean, that's like our thing, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm doing good. I told you I've been contemplating changing my my house over there in that area, which is going to ban Airbnb, to a long-term rental, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, they gave us enough time. They gave us like 6 months to stop doing Airbnb, whatever. And so and we'll see. And hopefully the Texas Supreme Court rules on something by before then, and then they allow Airbnb, whatever. And so I just decided, man, I make more money doing Airbnb. I'm gonna keep doing it until the ban hits. And because I mean, you switch down to long term, yeah, you know, it pays the bills. It's a little less hands on and stuff. And I actually had someone coming through. They were gonna rent a place. They were gonna rent my place long term. Well, I was gonna rent it for $1,550 a month, you know, down payment of $1,500. They were already okay, yeah, we like it, blah blah. You know, we're gonna go ahead and send in our application. Cozy, you mentioned Cozy.
Yeah.
And to all you aspiring long-termers out there, Cozy is a really cool app that sends these what are they called?
Set up your lease through Cozy.
Yeah. You can set up your lease through them, and you can set up the applications through them, and everything. It's all free, and because the renters pay for it. But anyways, this is the frustrating part about real estate, because they were like, okay, they wanted to rent it and everything, and so I waited till like the next day to hear from them. They never filled out the application. And then they hit me up and said, hey, you know, Steve, you know, we really like your place, but we found something else over here, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, thanks for the time. So left me high and dry, and I was like, well, screw this, man. I'm going to, and I actually blocked those days because I thought they were going to rent it for the year, right? But anyways, they ended up not renting it, and I said, I'll throw it back on Airbnb. I'll have it on Airbnb, and I'll have it on Zillows and everything as a long-term rental. I'll do it on both, just in case, you know, someone comes through and they want to rent it long-term. It'll be conditional. I mean, but you know, if I rent it out the next 2 months, they gotta wait till the third month. But I'll still sign up to the lease and all that, ready to go. So you got options. You gotta have options in all your stuff. Don't put all your eggs in one basket like a lot of people did with the Airbnb thing. So I mean, yeah, just be smart about it, y'all. Just be smart about it. Anything to add? Any closing words, Micah?
Man, just remember to follow us on, what was it, Instagram. Always follow us on Instagram. We always got a bunch of stuff going on Instagram, man. Especially Share Bed and Breakfast and Live Let Thrive. I post stuff on there every day.
Yeah, Mary joined in. She said, "Go Cowboys." So yeah, we feel you. Definitely go Cowboys. Screw the Rams.
Definitely.
Thanks for letting us have a home game at y'all stadium. So for Micah, Steve, this has been Live Let Thrive, episode 76 of your favorite Airbnb short-term rental, long-term rental
podcast,
entrepreneurial stuff too, like Turo. You know,
yeah.
We'll get
More
that
share
going
economy
too.
stuff.
Thank y'all for listening, and we hope y'all stick around.
Peace
Peace out. Later.